Welcome to Innovators Journey, the show where we go behind the bold ideas and breakthrough moments with leaders, builders, and change makers making an impact in their fields and communities. I'm Nick Frank. Today, I'm joined by Michael Grogan, a deputy sheriff at the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office and a former captain for the city of Millbrae in San Mateo, California. Mike's career spans decades of service, all the way back from his time as a special agent in the U.S. Army and Coast Guard to leadership roles in local law enforcement. A graduate of the FBI National Academy and the LAPD West Point Leadership Academy, he's also deeply connected to veteran and law enforcement organizations nationwide. Mike, thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
You're welcome, Nick. Glad to be with you.
Now, you've completed a handful of very prestigious leadership programs. How do you think these experiences helped shape your approach to leadership in law enforcement today? And what are those key lessons that you apply in your everyday work?
I was fortunate to attend an FBI National Academy, like you mentioned, and they emphasize the importance of being visionary with whatever law enforcement organization you're associated with, being optimistic, being a risk taker, because at the end of the day, our job is to serve the public. And fundamentally, wherever you're a deputy sheriff or a city police officer or a California High Patrol officer, our focus is to prevent crime, make arrests, and maintain the peace. That's fundamentally what we do.
And you have two very complementary careers in the military service and then transitioning to law enforcement. And so what skills and experiences do you think from that military background have been incredibly valuable to you now in your role as a deputy sheriff?
The military really emphasizes the importance of leadership and being a teacher, a leader, a mentor. I was fortunate to go to advanced leadership schools as a warrant officer in the Army, and I was able to attend some very specialized law enforcement training that benefited me both in my military career as well as my civilian career.
Now, you've served in multiple capacities, right? You started as the reserve police officer and then captain, and now you're with the sheriff's office. How do you think working your way up and working across communities in the Bay Area has really helped influence your perspective, especially in that community policing?
Yes. So I'm a third generation law enforcement officer. My grandfather was an officer in West Hartford, Connecticut. My father was a California High Patrol officer. He retired out of the San Jose area office. And so I had some good role models, and was fortunate to find a job that I was passionate about. I look forward to going to pretty much every day of my 45-year career. Next month will be 45 years for me. The basic core function is just interacting with the public, going to crisis situations and making them better and serving people however we can, whenever we can.
Now, as you look back at your long storied career, what advice would you give someone who's just starting out in law enforcement today?
You have to understand that it's a privilege to serve your fellow human being in this capacity, because it's a position with high responsibility, and the community has to have trust in us. Otherwise, we're just not going to be effective.
Yeah. And you clearly weren't busy enough with all of that. And you wrote a book. And I think you have it with us. Can you tell me a little bit about your book, what inspired you to write it, and a good overview of what's in it?
Thank you for asking, Nick. Yes, I did. In 2022, COVID was still going on, and I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I always wanted to write a book, so I did. It's called Grogan's Story, 40 Years a Cop and a Soldier. And it kind of blends both careers, military and civilian. And it's like an autobiography. But I was fortunate to serve in Iraq as well as Afghanistan. And investigating felony level crimes in a war zone is definitely different, to say the least, more challenging than sometimes in the civilian environment.
Yeah. And when you finally do decide to hang it up and you say, okay, I'm going to go maybe write another book or sit in that comfy chair a little bit more, what do you think is one of the things you're really going to look back and be most proud of your service time?
I was able to keep a positive attitude. I didn't get burnout. I didn't get cynical. I was able to stay emotionally healthy. Went through a lot of difficult times, but it didn't take me down. I was able to persevere, and I think come out of it stronger than before the serious or crisis event that I was tasked with.
Awesome. Well, Mike, I appreciate you joining and telling us a story today, and I appreciate your amazing years of service.
Well, thank you, Nick. I really appreciate that.
All right, a really big thank you to Mike Grogan for sharing his expertise with us today. To learn more about his work and the organization he's involved in, check out veteran law enforcement groups and the communities that he supports. And check out his book as well. If you enjoyed this conversation, follow the show, share it with someone who values service, leadership, and commitment to community. I'm Nick Frank. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you for the next Innovators Journey.